Hello and welcome to part 3 of this SAT Practice Test 1 math review. For those of you looking for parts 1 and 2, you can find them on my channel in the SAT content playlist. But without further ado, let's get into part 3. So heading over to question 22, the measure of angle R is 2 pi over 3 radians. The measure of angle T is 5 pi over 12 radians greater than the measure of angle R. What is the measure of angle T in degrees? So what we're going to do is we're going to calculate the measure of angle T in radians and then just convert from radians to degrees. So the measure of angle T is going to be 5 pi over 12 greater than the measure of angle R. So that's going to be 2 pi over 3 plus 5 pi over 12. And because of one common denominators, we'll just quickly, for the 2 pi over 3, we're going to multiply both sides by 12, both the numerator and the denominator. So that's going to give us 24 pi over 36. And then we're going to do the same for the numerator and denominator of 5 pi over 12. So it's going to give us 15 pi over 36. Now we can just do the addition, and that's going to give us 39 pi over 36. That's going to be the measure of angle T in radians. Now, to convert from radians to degrees, we're just going to multiply by 180 over pi. You could do this in a number of steps. You could multiply by 360 and then divide by 2 pi if that's more intuitive, but this is the way I'm going to do it. The pi's are going to cancel. We can see also, we can cancel here because 36 goes into 180 5 times. So now we're left with the measure of angle T is 39 times 5. We can do that here. We get 5, carry the 4, 9, 1. That's going to be answer choice C, 195 degrees. A certain town has an area of 4.36 square miles. What is the area in square yards of this town? So they give you the unit conversion from miles to yards, but we need square miles to square yards. So we're going to have to square both of these. So that will be, obviously square 1, you get 1, and then you're going to have 1,760 squared. And what we're going to do is we're going to then take that and multiply by 4.36, and that's going to give us our answer. If you have a calculator, you can just plug that directly into your calculator, and it will give you one of these numbers. If you don't have a calculator, you could obviously multiply this out as well. But another way to think about it is this is 1,760 times 1,760 times 4.36. So immediately, you know that it's bigger than 404. Because 1,760 is bigger than 404. You also know that it's bigger than 7,674 because you're doing something over 1,000 multiplied by something over 1,000. If we think about how many zeros this would have, we know that 1,000 times 1,000 will have 6 zeros. So we know that our answer should be at least 1 million. It will be over 1 million. So that also gets rid of answer choice C. So this is a way to work it out by rounding down to 1,000, and you know that your answer, rounding the 1,760 down to 1,000, you know your answer must be more than 1,000 squared, which is 1,000 times 1,000, which is a million. So therefore, answer choice D is the only answer, but plugging this into your calculator will give that answer as well. All right, on to question 24. For line H, the table shows 3 values of x and their corresponding values of y. Line K is the result of translating line H down 5 units in the xy plane. What is the x-intercept of line K? So what we're first going to do is we're going to calculate the equation for line H. So first we want the slope, so we can do that by our slope intercept form, so m2 minus m1 over x2 minus x1. In this case, the m's would be y's. So we have 160 minus 130 over 23 minus 18. And this will work with any combination of these numbers, by the way. 30, so that's to say you could do 178 minus 160 over 26 minus 23. You could do 178 minus 130 over 26 minus 18. Any of those will work. So that's going to give us 30 over 5 equals 6. So the slope is 6. So now we have y equals 6x plus b, where b is our y-intercept. So we're going to plug in two numbers from the line, and then we're going to solve for our y-intercept. So we're going to plug in, let's just plug in 18, and we're going to do it. 18 and 130. So we're going to get 130 equals 6 times 18 plus b. 6 times 18 is 108. So 130 equals 108 plus b. Subtract 108 from both sides. We're going to get b is equal to 22. So now we know that line h is y equals 6x plus 22. For line k, we're going to translate line h down 5 units. So we have the same slope, but we're going to translate down 5 units, which means reducing our y-intercept by 5 in the equation. So we're going to have y equals 6x plus 17. Now we're asking for the x-intercept. So that's to say, when y is equal to 0, what is x? So we're going to do that with 0 equals 6x plus 17. Subtract 17 from both sides. 6x equals negative 17. Divide by 6. X equals negative 17 over 6. We can see that is answer choice D. It's negative 17 over 6 comma 0, because we know at the x-intercept, y is equal to 0 because it's intersecting the x-axis. All right, so for question 25, in the xy plane, the graph of the equation y equals negative x squared plus 9x minus 100 intersects the line y equals c at exactly 1 point. What is the value of c? So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to put this line in vertex form. So that's of the format y equals a x minus h squared plus k. So we need to first address this x minus h part, because we have an x squared term and an x term. So when we have that, we can do what's called completing the square, which first we'll take y equals, we'll factor out the negative, x squared minus 9x plus 100. When we complete the square with x squared minus 9x, we get x squared minus 9x plus 9 over 2. So we're going to take that negative 9 over 2. We're going to take the negative 9 divided by 2 and then square that. So that's going to give us negative 9 over 2 squared, which is the same as 9 over 2 squared because you're squaring, so it's positive, which is going to give us 81 over 4. And then we're going to have negative, and we're going to have plus 100. And we're going to subtract back that 81 over 4 because we can't just create it. We have to make sure the equation stays balanced. So we know that this, when you complete the square, is equal to negative x minus 9 over 2 squared plus 100 minus 81 over 4. And we can take 100 as 400 over 4 because it's 100 over 1. Multiply both sides by 4, we get 400 over 4. So plus 400 over 4 minus 81 over 4. We get y equals negative x minus 9 over 2 squared plus, that becomes 319 over 4. We then distribute back the negative, so y equals negative x minus 9 over 2 squared minus 319 over 4. And what it's asking for is the value of c, which is the vertex. So in vertex form, the vertex is k. And now that we have it in vertex form, we can see that a equals negative 1, h equals 9 over 2, and most importantly, k is equal to negative 319 over 4. So our answer is answer choice C. All right, I believe these are the last two questions. Yes. So for question 26, for each real number r, which of the following points lies on the graph of each equation in the xy plane for the given system? So most importantly, what's important here is we have for each real number r. And what that means is we can plug in a real number r that works for us, and then we can just check which of the values fit under these equations. So that's a good way to get rid of some of the answer choices that aren't correct. So if we plug in r equals 0, that's a very easy choice. What are our answer choices become? So this becomes 7, 35. This becomes 7 over 2, 0. This becomes 0, 7 over 3. And this becomes 0, 7 over 2. So now we're going to plug those in for x and y, and we're going to see for which of them is the equation correct. We're going to just pick one of the equations. We're going to pick the top one. So 2 times 7 plus 3 times 35 equals 7. I think we can see that's clearly not correct, so it's not A. 2 times 7 over 2 plus 0 equals 7. That is correct, so B is a possible choice. 2 times 0 plus 3 times 7 over 3 equals 7. That is correct, so C is a possible choice. And then 2 times 0 plus 3 times 7 over 2 equals 7. That's also not correct. So that was what we got when plugging in 0. Now we can use our remaining choices and just plug in 1. And we'll say when we plug in 1, we get negative 3 over 2 plus 7 over 2 is 4 over 2. 4 over 2 is 2. So we get 2, 1. And we get 1, that's 2 over 3 plus 7 over 3, which is 9 over 3, which is 3. So 1, 3. We're going to plug these in. We get 2 times 2 plus 3 equals 7. 4 plus 3 equals 7. That's correct. For the other one, we get 2 times 1 plus 3 times 3 equals 7, which is 2 plus 9 equals 7. That's not correct. So answer choice B is in fact our answer. All right, now for the last question. The perimeter of an equilateral triangle is 624 centimeters. The height of this triangle is k root 3 centimeters, where k is a constant. What is the value of k? So first we'll diagram this triangle. We know that it's an equilateral triangle. So we know that the sides, we'll say S, S, and S, the sides are all the same length. We know that the height is k root 3 centimeters. We know that the perimeter is 624 centimeters. So what else do we know about the triangle? It's equilateral, which means each side has the same length. So we know that the perimeter, which is the sum of the lengths of the sides, so that's 3s, is equal to 624. So that tells us the length of each side. We have s is equal to, that's going to be 208. So now we can remove the s's, and we could put 208, 208, 208. So what do we know about this triangle? It's an equilateral triangle, and we know that the height is k root 3. So when we have a triangle, an equilateral triangle, when you split it in half vertically, you get a special triangle, which is a right triangle. That's a 30, 60, 90 right triangle. So this, we have k root 3, 208. And we know when we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle, the sides have the following relationship. So we have x, x over 2, and x root 3 over 2. So when we apply this to the triangle we have x equals 208, which means x over 2, which is this side, is equal to 104. And most importantly, we have k root 3, is equal to 208 times root 3 over 2. Now we can cancel out the root 3's, and we have k is equal to 208 over 2, which is equal to 104, which is our answer for this question. So that is our answer for k. So the value of k is 104. And we solve that knowing that when you take this equilateral triangle and when you split it through the height, right, so vertically, that gives you a 30, 60, 90 right triangle. And we know the properties for 30, 60, 90 right triangles are as follows. So that's going to be it for SAT Practice Test 1, the math review. I'm going to do the math reviews for other SAT practice tests and also some math reviews for other important math concepts. If there was anything that was unclear or any questions you had, please let me know if I can clarify something in the comments or make another video to clarify. Other than that, if there's other math related or statistics related or programming related content that you'd like to see on this channel, please let me know. I greatly appreciate your feedback. And aside from that, please like the video, please comment, and please subscribe so you can see future videos about math and other educational content. All right, thank you and have a great day.